The room was quiet, too quiet. Ambassador Deho sat at the long table, his fingers tapping a slow, nervous rhythm against the dark surface. Around him, representatives from 12 different alien worlds watched and waited. Each of them looked worried. Each of them had a problem. And that problem was humanity. Humans were new to the galaxy. They had only been traveling between stars for a short time. But in those few years, they had done something no other species had ever done before. They had changed everything. Most alien races took hundreds of thousands of years to develop space travel. Humans did it in less than 200 years. Most species were careful. They studied. They planned. Humans? They jumped. They fought. They laughed in the face of danger. The Xilarian Confederation had been watching humans closely. Deho knew the statistics by heart. In just 50 years, humans had colonized more planets than the Xilarians had in 5,000 years. They made friends quickly. They made enemies even faster. And they never, ever backed down. "We cannot allow them to continue," Deho said, breaking the silence. The other ambassadors looked at him. Some nodded. Some frowned. But all of them understood what he meant. Chiwu, a thin scientist from the Aquilian Directorate, stepped forward. Her hands moved quickly, bringing up holographic images that filled the center of the room. Star maps, population charts, military strength graphs. Each image told the same story. Humans were growing too fast. They reproduce quickly, Chiwu explained. Her voice was calm and cold. They adapt faster than any species we have ever seen, and they are not afraid of anything. She showed a video. It was from a recent conflict between humans and the Torax Empire. A human ship, badly damaged, continued fighting even when all other species would have surrendered. The humans had lost most of their weapons. Their ship was falling apart, but they still attacked. The other ambassadors shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Deho knew what they were thinking. Humans were not just a problem. They were a threat. A dangerous, unpredictable threat that could destroy everything the Galactic Council had built over millions of years. "We need a solution," he said. "A solution that will stop them before they become too powerful." Chiwu smiled. It was not a kind smile. "I have a solution," she said. "A weapon they will never see coming." The holographic display changed. Now it showed complex molecular structures, chemical diagrams that looked like twisted, complicated puzzles. To most species, they would mean nothing. But to Chiwu, they represented something else entirely. A perfect weapon. A toxin so precise, so carefully designed, that it would target only human biology. It would break down their cells, destroy their organs, and it would do this silently, without any sign of outside interference. The other ambassadors leaned forward. They were listening now. This was not just another plan. This was a chance to protect their civilizations from the human threat. "How soon can we implement this?" asked the Zorn representative, his multiple eyes blinking in rapid succession. Chiwu's smile grew wider. "Very soon," she answered. "Very soon indeed." They did not know it yet, but they were about to make the biggest mistake in galactic history. A mistake that would become a legend. A mistake that humans would laugh about for generations to come. But right now, in this quiet room, all they saw was a solution. A way to stop humanity before humans could stop them. Captain Hyunki stood on the bridge of the Resilient Spirit, a human merchant vessel that moved cargo across multiple star systems. Today was supposed to be a normal day. Normal, at least, for a human traveling through space. The cargo manifest looked simple. 50 large containers, labeled as agricultural supplement. Most captains would have just accepted the shipment without a second thought, but Hyunki was not most captains. "Run a full scan," he told his first officer, Jae-sung. Jae-sung raised an eyebrow. "It's just fertilizer, Captain." Hyunki smiled. "Humor me." Humans were different from other species. Where most would trust official documents, humans always asked questions. They always wanted to know why. This curiosity had saved their species multiple times in the past, and today it would save them again. The scanning process took hours. Advanced sensors probed each container. Computer systems analyzed every molecule. Most of the crew thought it was unnecessary. But Hyun-Ki knew better. Something felt off about these containers. The initial scans showed nothing unusual. Standard agricultural chemicals. Perfectly normal compounds that could help plants grow on different planets. But Hyun-Ki's instincts were screaming. Something was wrong. Deep in the ship's laboratory, junior scientist Park Min-ji began running additional tests. She was young, but she had been trained in the best human research facilities. Her hands moved quickly across holographic interfaces. She didn't just look at the data. She questioned it. "Captain," she called out after several hours, "these compounds, they're not what they seem." The toxin designed by Ju was a masterpiece of alien biochemistry. It had been created to target human cellular structures with perfect precision. The Galactic Council believed it was undetectable. They were wrong. Humans had something most species did not, a combination of scientific curiosity and stubborn determination. Min-ji's analysis revealed strange molecular patterns. The agricultural supplement contained complex chemical structures that didn't match any known fertilizer. They were too precise, too perfect. "It's almost like someone designed this specifically to harm us," Min-ji told Hyun-Ki. The captain nodded. "Exactly," he said. "And that means someone out there doesn't want humans to succeed." Across the galaxy, the containers were being distributed to human colonies. Thousands of shipments, millions of containers. Each one carried what the Galactic Council believed was a perfect weapon. They did not know that humans were about to do something completely unexpected. On another part of the ship, the medical officer, Dr. Lee Sung-ho, began running his own tests. He was older, more experienced. He had seen strange things in his years of space travel. But this was something new. "Captain," he called out, "you need to see this." The ship's computer displayed complex molecular simulations. The toxin structure was fascinating. It was designed to break down human cells. But something was strange, very strange. Hyun-Ki looked at the simulation. His eyes narrowed. Then, unexpectedly, he started to laugh. The Galactic Council had no idea what was coming. They thought they were sending a weapon. But humans would turn this into something else entirely. Something the aliens could never have predicted. The resilient spirit continued its journey through the stars, carrying a secret that would soon change everything. Dr. Seong-min rubbed his tired eyes. The laboratory was a mess of holographic displays, scattered data pads, and half-empty coffee mugs. He had been working for 3 days straight, and the research team was no closer to understanding the mysterious compound. The toxin was unlike anything they had ever seen before. Initial tests showed something impossible. The compound that was supposed to be deadly was doing something completely different. Instead of destroying human cells, it was, well, nobody was quite sure what it was doing. "Look at this," Dr. Seong-min said to his research assistant, Kim Yura. He pointed at a complex molecular simulation dancing in the air between them. Yura leaned closer. She was young, brilliant, and had zero patience for complicated scientific mysteries. "It's doing nothing," she said bluntly. But it wasn't doing nothing. It was doing something strange. Volunteer test subjects reported weird experiences. Some felt warm. Some felt relaxed. A few even reported feeling happy. This was not how a deadly toxin was supposed to work. In the research facility's medical wing, Dr. Park Jae-yun watched the test results with growing confusion. Humans who had been exposed to the compound showed no signs of cellular damage. Instead, they showed signs that reminded her of something familiar. "Wait," she muttered to herself. "This is impossible." The medical scanner showed increased dopamine levels, relaxed muscle tension, reduced stress responses. It was almost like the compound was doing the opposite of what it was designed to do. In another part of the facility, A junior researcher named Lee Min-jun made a connection that would change everything. He had been comparing the molecular structure to known compounds in the human database. His eyes went wide. "Oh," he said softly. "Oh, this is interesting." The toxin bore an incredibly close resemblance to something humans had been producing and consuming for thousands of years, something they called alcohol. More specifically, something they called whiskey. But this was no ordinary whiskey. This was a hyper-concentrated, ultra-pure version of alcohol that was more refined than anything humans had ever created. News spread quickly through the research facility. What was supposed to be a weapon was turning into something else entirely. The Galactic Council's carefully designed toxin was looking less like a method of destruction and more like a potential medical breakthrough. "We need to run more tests," Dr. Seong-min announced to his team. "This is too important to ignore." The research team worked around the clock. They ran test after test. Each result was more surprising than the last. The compound seemed to have almost magical properties. It reduced inflammation. It helped cellular repair. It created a sense of well-being that was hard to explain. Yura looked at the latest results and started laughing. "They tried to kill us," she said, "and instead, they might have just created the most interesting drink in galactic history." Dr. Seong-min couldn't help but smile. Humans had a way of turning potential disasters into opportunities. This was just another example of that unique human ability. Outside the research facility, the first rumors were beginning to spread. A weapon that wasn't a weapon. A toxin that wasn't toxic. Something that the Galactic Council had created to destroy humanity was about to become something entirely different. The human species was about to do what it always did. Take something meant to harm them and turn it into something amazing. News travels fast in space, but human news, it travels at the speed of a good story. Within weeks, every human colony knew about the strange compound. What was meant to be a secret weapon became the most talked-about discovery in recent human history. Parties were being planned. Bars were preparing special tastings. People were excited about something that was supposed to kill them. On New Denver Colony, the first public tasting event happened almost by accident. Captain Hyun-ki, who had first discovered the compound, decided to share his findings with the local community. What started as a small scientific presentation turned into a full-blown celebration. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced to the crowded hall, "we have received a gift from the Galactic Council." The crowd laughed. They knew what was coming. Bottles were passed around. Each one contained a small amount of the mysterious compound. Humans from different backgrounds took careful sips. Some were scientists. Some were traders. Some were just curious people who loved a good story. The reactions were immediate and hilarious. "Smooth," said one trader, swirling the liquid in his glass. "Really smooth." "Strong," commented a research scientist. "Much stronger than our usual spirits." Nowhere in the galaxy would another species have reacted this way. If someone tried to give them a potential weapon, they would run. They would hide. They would prepare for defense. Humans, they had a drink and started making jokes. Social media exploded. Memes appeared faster than the Galactic Council could track them. Videos of people tasting the Council special went viral across human colonies. Comedians were already writing entire stand-up routines about the failed alien attack. "They tried to kill us" became a popular joke, and we turned it into happy hour. In orbital bars and colony lounges, people began creating cocktails. They mixed the compound with other drinks. They gave these new beverages ridiculous names. Alien Assassin Punch became a favorite. The scientific community was equally excited. Research teams began studying the compound from every possible angle. What made it so unique? How did it interact with human biology? Could it be used for something useful? Dr. Park Jae-hyun, who had first noticed the compound's strange properties, was now leading a major research project. Her team worked day and night, exploring every possible application. "This is not just a drink," she told her colleagues. "This could be a medical breakthrough." Some early studies suggested the compound might have healing properties. It could reduce inflammation. It might help with cellular regeneration. The very thing designed to destroy humans was turning into something that could potentially help them. On Earth, government officials were both amused and impressed. They began formal diplomatic communications with the Galactic Council, not to discuss an attack, not to demand explanations, but to discuss the interesting chemical compound that had been sent their way. The Galactic Council's carefully planned weapon had become something else entirely. A drink, a scientific curiosity, a source of humor. Humans had done what they always did. They had taken something meant to destroy them and turned it into an opportunity. They had transformed a potential disaster into a celebration. And they were just getting started. Ambassador Deho's communication screen flickered to life. He expected reports of human destruction. Instead, he saw something that made his skin turn several shades of purple. Humans were throwing parties. The first reports came from multiple research stations. The toxin, their carefully designed weapon, was being treated like a rare delicacy. Humans were not just surviving. They were celebrating. "This is impossible," Deho muttered. But it was happening. Across human colonies, people were talking about the Galactic Council special. Bars were creating new drink menus. Scientists were writing research papers. Comedians were making jokes about alien bartenders. In the Galactic Council chambers, silence fell when the first full report arrived. Jiwoo, the scientist who had designed the toxin, looked like she might explode from frustration. "They are drinking it," she said, her voice flat with disbelief. "They are actually drinking the weapon we created to destroy them." The Zorn representative, whose multiple eyes could blink independently, looked confused. "How is this possible?" he asked. Humans had a way of turning the impossible into reality. Where other species would panic, humans found humor. Where others would be afraid, humans would laugh. The first viral video showed a human bar owner creating a new cocktail. He held up a bottle of the compound and grinned at the camera. "Thanks, Galactic Council," he said. "Best gift ever." Millions of humans saw the video. They shared it. They made memes. They created entire comedy routines around the failed alien attack. Social media platforms exploded with jokes. T-shirts were printed. Mugs were designed. Humans were doing what they always did, finding humor in the most unexpected situations. Some of the research findings were even more embarrassing for the Galactic Council. The compound wasn't just harmless. It seemed to have potential medical benefits. Early studies suggested it could help with cellular repair. It might reduce inflammation. It could potentially be used as a new type of medicine. Ambassador Deho received a diplomatic communication from Earth. It was not an angry message. It was not a threat. It was an invitation to discuss the interesting chemical compound they had received. The invitation was polite, friendly, even, as if the attempted attack was nothing more than a misunderstanding between new galactic neighbors. In bars across human colonies, a new toast became popular. To the Galactic Council, people would say, raising glasses of the strange, powerful liquid. The worst assassins, but the best bartenders. Jiwoo, the scientist who had designed the toxin, watched the reports with growing horror. Her perfect weapon had become a joke. Worse, it had become a celebration of human resilience. The Galactic Council had tried to send a message of destruction. Instead, they had sent an invitation to a party. Humans had a saying, "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade." Apparently, when aliens give humans a toxic weapon, they make the most interesting drink in the galaxy. The embarrassment was complete. The Galactic Council had failed. Spectacularly, Captain Hyun-Ki sat in front of the galactic news cameras. He was not a politician. He was not a diplomat. He was just a spaceship captain who had discovered something weird. But right now, he was the most famous human in the galaxy. "They tried to kill us," he said with a smile that made millions laugh, "and we turned it into happy hour." The interview went viral across every human colony. It was shared on every communication network. Alien species watched in confusion. Humans watched and cheered. Comedians were having the time of their lives. Stand-up shows about the alien bartender incident sold out everywhere. Jokes flew faster than spaceships, each one more ridiculous than the last. One popular comedian had an entire routine about the Galactic Council's failed plan. Imagine, he would say, spending millions of years developing a super weapon, then sending it to humans, and humans turn it into a drink and have a party. The routine always ended with the same punchline. Humans, we don't get mad, we get creative. Social media was a battlefield of memes. Every day brought new jokes about the failed alien attack. Humans created t-shirts. They made commemorative mugs. They started brewing special edition drinks called Council's Revenge or Alien Assassination Juice. What the Galactic Council had intended as a serious act of galactic politics had become a human comedy show. Dr. Park Jae-yun and her research team continued studying the compound. What they discovered was even more interesting than the initial findings. The toxin, if you could call it that, had properties that could potentially revolutionize human medicine. It's not just a drink, she told reporters. It could be a medical breakthrough. Early studies suggested the compound could help with cellular regeneration. It might reduce inflammation. It could potentially help treat certain types of tissue damage. The weapon designed to destroy humans was turning into something that could save human lives. Captain Hyun-Ki's interview continued to play on news channels. His casual attitude became a symbol of human resilience. When asked if he was angry about the attempted attack, he just laughed. Angry, he said. Why would we be angry? We got a great story and an interesting drink. The Galactic Council tried to manage the situation. They sent diplomatic messages. They attempted to explain. But humans were not interested in serious explanations. They were too busy making jokes and creating new cocktails. Every attempt by alien diplomats to discuss the incident was met with human humor. Humans turned serious diplomatic meetings into comedy shows. They responded to official communications with memes and jokes. The more the Galactic Council tried to control the narrative, the more humans laughed. Alien species watched in confusion. Most civilizations would have demanded war. Most would have prepared for conflict. Humans, they threw a party. We don't make enemies, one human diplomat said. We make stories. And what a story this was becoming. The tale of how the Galactic Council tried to destroy humanity and instead gave them the most interesting drink in galactic history. Humans had done it again. They had taken a potential disaster and turned it into an opportunity for connection, humor, and unexpected innovation. Dr. Lee Sung-ho looked at the research results and rubbed his eyes. He could not believe what he was seeing. The compound that was supposed to destroy humanity was turning into something completely different. Research stations across human colonies worked around the clock. Each day brought new discoveries. Each test revealed another layer of the compound's strange properties. The medical implications were mind-blowing. Look at this, Sung-ho told his research assistant, Kim Yura. He pointed at a holographic display showing molecular interactions. The compound doesn't just repair cells, it seems to improve them. Yura leaned closer. Her young eyes scanned the complex data with quick precision. It's like the toxin is actually making humans stronger, she said. Initial studies showed remarkable results. The compound could help heal damaged tissue faster. It could reduce inflammation in ways no known medicine could. Some early tests suggested it might even help slow down the aging process. Researchers discovered something even more interesting. The compound worked differently in human bodies compared to other species. Where it would be toxic to most alien life forms, humans processed it like a complex medicine. Dr. Park Jae-yun, who had been leading the research, called an emergency conference. Scientists from around the human colonies joined the virtual meeting. Each brought their own findings. Each had a piece of the puzzle. This is more than just a drink, Jae-yun explained. This could be a medical revolution. Hospitals began careful trials. Patients with difficult-to-treat conditions became test subjects. The results were promising. Some patients showed incredible recovery rates. Others experienced improvements that medical science had never seen before. The research went deeper. The compound seemed to interact with human DNA in unique ways. It could potentially help repair genetic damage. It might provide protection against certain types of radiation. The list of potential benefits grew longer each day. Alien species watched in confusion. What was supposed to be a weapon of destruction was becoming a tool of healing. Military researchers became interested. If the compound could help human cells repair faster, what could it mean for space exploration? For human survival in harsh environments? The possibilities seemed endless. Captain Hyun-ki, who had first discovered the compound, was invited to multiple research facilities. He found the whole situation hilarious. The weapon meant to destroy humanity was now potentially humanity's greatest medical discovery. Only humans, he would joke, could turn an alien assassination attempt into a medical breakthrough. The Galactic Council tried to track the research. They sent diplomatic messages. They demanded reports. But humans shared information freely. Every discovery was published. Every test result was made public. Some alien species began to worry. Humans were not just surviving. They were improving. The weapon designed to stop human expansion was actually helping humans become stronger. Dr. Sung-ho and his team continued their research. Each day brought new questions. Each test revealed another layer of the compound's mysterious properties. "We're just beginning to understand this," he told Yura. "And what we know is already amazing." The compound had become more than a drink, more than a joke. It was becoming a symbol of human adaptability, a reminder that humans could turn almost anything into an opportunity. The Galactic Council had tried to stop humanity. Instead, they might have just helped humanity take its next great leap forward. The diplomatic meeting was unlike any in galactic history. Ambassador Deho sat at the long table, feeling smaller than he had ever felt before. Around him were human diplomats. They did not look angry. They did not look like they wanted revenge. Instead, they looked amused. "We would like to discuss the interesting chemical compound you sent us," said the human lead diplomat, Dr. Kim Jae-sung. Interesting. That was the word they used. Not dangerous. Not an attack. Just interesting. The Galactic Council representatives shifted uncomfortably. They had prepared for conflict. They had expected anger. Instead, they were being invited to share a drink. Captain Hyun-ki, now famous across multiple star systems, was there too. He held a specially prepared bottle. The label read, "Galactic Council Special, First Edition." "We've been studying the compound," Jae-sung explained, "and we think you might want to hear about our discoveries." The research was impressive. The compound that was meant to destroy humanity had become something else entirely. A potential medical breakthrough. A new type of drink. A symbol of human adaptability. Deho listened as the humans explained their findings. They spoke about cellular repair, about potential medical treatments, about the unique way humans had processed the toxin. There was no anger in their voices, just scientific curiosity. "We would like to invite you to collaborate," Jae-sung said, "to understand this compound together." The Zorn representative, whose multiple eyes blinked in confusion, spoke up. "You want to work with us? After we tried to harm you?" Captain Hyun-ki laughed. It was a sound that seemed to fill the entire room. "We don't make enemies," he said. "We make stories, and sometimes we make drinks." A waiter entered the room. He carried a tray with carefully prepared glasses. Each one contained a small amount of the special compound. The same compound that was supposed to kill humans had now become a diplomatic gift. "To understanding," Hyun-ki said, raising his glass. The other ambassadors looked shocked, but slowly they'd raised their glasses too. This was not how galactic diplomacy worked. Normally, an attempted attack would mean war, conflict, destruction. But humans were different. They saw opportunity where others saw threat. Dr. Park Jae-yun, who had led the research, explained the medical potential. The compound could help heal. It could protect. It could improve human health in ways no one had imagined. The Galactic Council had tried to stop human expansion. Instead, they might have just helped humans take their next great leap forward. Ambassador Daeho realized something important. Humans were not like other species. They did not think like other species. Where others would see an attack, humans saw a chance to learn. Where others would seek revenge, humans sought understanding. "We have a saying," Hyun-ki told the assembled ambassadors. "When life gives you lemons, make lemonade." He paused and grinned. "When aliens give you a toxic weapon, apparently, you make the best drink in the galaxy." The room erupted in laughter. Aliens who had come prepared for conflict found themselves sharing a drink, sharing a joke, sharing a moment of unexpected connection. The Galactic Council had tried to sabotage humanity. They had failed, spectacularly. But in failing, they had done something else. They had shown the galaxy exactly what made humans unique: adaptability, humor, the ability to turn any challenge into an opportunity. Humanity had done it again.